Bottom.
Breaking FBI gay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Church of Failure. I'm your host, the Church of Failure, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Lord Ayrton McCartney, Don't Wolf, aka RuneKnight, and Karasoth, aka Larry. How you boys doing this week?
Well, I'm now an FBI informant. I'm informing them they are gay.
But I mean, that's not really breaking news. That's already well established news since the 1920s.
Fair.
Oh man, well the tweet should also be live, so
should.
But anyway, no, I got an early birthday present from my wife. She got me one of those mini Nintendo like emulator deals, so
nice.
that I could play 620 games. Mainly because you guys remember the heartbreak that I suffered trying to figure out my emulator setup on my PC, and then it updating to Windows 11, and me having to figure out how to reprogram my entire controller system.
Okay. I do not have the tweet yet, but it could just be that my Twitter is retarded.
Yeah, I don't have it yet either.
Here. Really?
The last thing you tweeted was was Goku going Super Saiyan on a
schedule.
I mean, maybe Church's shadow ban.
I'm on his.
Oh no, I just scheduled it for 5 days out.
Hey, I like the Goku Super Saiyan
that's
one.
fantastic.
Pretty good.
I would say you're
Well,
drunk.
apparently the show is postponed for 5 days, ladies and gentlemen.
We out.
So we'll see you Thursday.
There, the tweet's out now. Fuck you guys. I tried being professional. Clear the calendar. Reset it to 0.
Reset the clock.
The Keno Casino was back on point this week, so we're back at the bottom, boys.
Hey, I mean, we can't
also,
be
I figured out why we will never ever have to worry about having any kind of major audience, because we are going head to head with Flashcast every week, like idiots.
Oh, I've known this for a while.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
I have known.
Yes, I didn't know this.
Other podcasts. I assumed it was either intentional or it was just you didn't give a shit.
I mean,
or
mostly the second
It's
one.
literally the only time that I have, because I work.
Yeah.
Which also, just a quick update, that may be changing. I may be moving to a real IRL job that has me 4 on, 4 off. So we'll have to figure that out.
Okay. I mean, Church, remember when we did 3 shows a week?
I try not to. I was drinking a lot more back then.
We both were. Or no, was it 4 shows? Did we do 3 or 4 shows a week? I can't remember.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Let's see
Fair.
here. We got some
We
going
got
on, Chad. Nice avatar. I actually played one of the emulated games on my Raspberry Pi Nintendo. It was called Pikachu, Pika space Chew. How's it going, Cross? And it was literally Tetris with the Pikachu in the middle of the screen, and he got very excited every time you leveled up.
Nice. That's sickeningly wholesome.
It is. My daughter really loved it, because every time you leveled up, a little Pikachu would come out on the other side of the screen and dance for a second.
I gotta ask you
the screen would change color and the Tetris would continue.
I gotta ask you guys a stupid question. So on my StreamYard, everything looks fine. But now that I'm looking at the YouTube, am I a broken image for everyone?
Are you?
No.
You look
I am
fine
on the
here.
YouTube. I'm a broken image on the YouTube. I don't know.
Really? Everybody just pulls up the YouTube channel now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Huh.
So suddenly we're here.
Oh,
yeah.
You are a broken image.
Weird. I'll step out and step back in. We'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah, do that.
All
He was
right.
briefly the Blank Wolf.
Huh.
Here we go. 3 days left on the Canadian Shield 2 and more on Indiegogo.
Hell yeah.
Yep. White circle with X, broken image.
Where did he go? Did he leave the studio entirely and said just the?
Yeah, he'll be back. Don't worry.
All right.
That was his
became
way
the
of
straight
getting
edge
out.
wolf.
Here we go. You're interested in?
Oops.
What are you doing,
Sorry, we clicked it at the same time.
motherfucker? All right. All right. Let's see if this works. Somebody who's still got it pulled up. Let me know if Rune's okay now.
Yeah, I got
the
it.
fuck?
Hold on.
All right, you bring him in, Ayrton.
All right.
There. He's in. Don't remove him.
All right.
All right. https://igg.me /@ Canadian Snow for the Canadian Shield 2 and more over on Indiegogo. Check that out, guys. Is his image better?
No, it's still fucked up. That's weird.
Really?
Yeah, let me
Change
see,
your
maybe-
just
maybe
go
I
into the
change
settings and
my-
change your profile picture.
Yeah, let me change my avatar.
Yeah.
Hey, I wonder if Rune's profile picture's got a thing to deal with its original creator or something, who made the art.
I doubt it.
There's no way. Hold on. It has the
It's a
stream
20-second
has to-
delay. So.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I'm better.
Okay. Excellent.
Now I'm my
Tech support of this final, ladies
scowling
and gentlemen.
furry self again. And I've upgraded from
So.
D and don't to D and doesn't.
Because that's our brain.
So what's been going on in the world of bullshit this week? I took a couple of days off because church is turning 35 on Monday, and that's the absolute worst. So
I
I've been
remember 35.
basically working.
Church, why are you
I've been,
reminding me that I'm older than you?
I remember 35. It's like it was 5 years ago.
I look older
Damn it,
than
Rune,
both
why
of
are
you,
you
though, so
reminding
don't
me?
worry.
Damn it, Rune, why are you reminding me that I'm older than you?
You know what you did.
You're the you're the wise
pro-
and you're the wise and professional on the show, Larry.
and this in turn means
You give
that
us
we're all
what is it? Legitimacy. That's the word I'm looking for. You give us legitimacy by being
and
the
you
real
remind
adult.
and you remind all of us that we're all older than Ayrton.
Well,
Correct.
In matter of point, while Ayrton and Church are reasonably successful people with real lives who have real things to do, Larry and I are in a online tabletop, and I basically get to scourge Larry in my off time to make up for all the barbs that he gives me
Why
on
would
my
you-
working time.
Why would you do that to yourself, Larry?
I mean,
Hey,
Rune's got a fairly compelling game.
Don't judge our relationship.
I'm sorry, the church is about 2,000 years old. Yeah, you got me.
He did. He got you.
I'm talking about the sentience cross. The sentience didn't come until later. Then it did get worse.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that when the sentience woke up, its first thing was to complain about how fucking tired its joints were?
Yes.
Essentially.
Correct.
You woke up
Essentially.
hungover and annoyed.
I mean, that's just Tuesday. I did have a little recoil therapy today. I put about 500 rounds through various firearms on my friend's property. It was definitely what I needed to do. Occasionally, the older you get, you just need to dump a magazine.
So
that's why I go like once a month to the range.
So with that in mind, since we're talking about real things for a minute and being adults, because it happens, Mama Rune has recovered more or less from all of the pneumonia. Right.
That's great.
Hell yeah.
And is we're working together to have her get up a little bit every day. It's official. It's going to be every day now, not just when she feels like it. and she's working with a occupational therapist. So we're giving her some exercises to do, basically old people exercises where it's like, okay, you're gonna stretch for a little bit to give yourself some limberness. You're gonna move your arms in these ways, basically building up her bodily strength so she can do things again. Because while she was in bed recovering and that was good, she wasn't coupling that with any kind of recovery activity, which was bad. So she was getting more stiff, less able. We don't want that. We want my mom to be empowered and capable, because she's a strong, independent, 71 years young woman this year who don't need no man-child. Because she's going to take the world.
Speaking of that, I got my first massage ever today, and it was wonderfully violent. That little Asian lady.
Really?
Yeah. No, it felt
great.
Happy
ending.
No,
Hold
there
up,
was
guys,
not a happy ending.
Guys, I mean, we've been bullshitting for like 10 minutes now.
Yeah.
I mean, are we gonna lose the fan?
Well, Cross, that's some slander there, man. The church is the people, not the building. You oppressive shitlord! You are taking away church identity.
I mean,
that's right, my personhood.
Also, isn't saying that the church is the people assuming it's gender?
I identify as a non-denominational belief system.
That's correct.
Okay,
so
are we?
Do you want to bring up that? Yeah, do you want to bring up that Star-Lord thing from She-Hulk?
Oh,
okay.
No, that's way better. Yeah, let's do that.
That's good. Yeah. So the She-Hulk show came out. It wasn't very good, and there was a joke that was a setup and a payoff.
My wife would disagree with you, Larry.
Well, hold up. And the payoff wasn't all that good of a joke. I mean, it was a solid payoff about Captain America being a virgin.
Yeah.
And then Bruce being like, "Nah, he banged a chick at a USO tour before he went to Europe." Because I mean, he was an actor.
Hold on, I have to resize the image so it fits on the screen. Okay.
And because people involved in the MCU have decided that the J.K. Rowling method is the way that you promote your literary universe, this happened. James Gunn said that Captain America canonically met Star-Lord's grandmother. And by process of elimination.
And so isn't she the same actress that played that USO tour chick? Star-Lord's mother?
I believe so.
No, grandmother.
See, here's the thing. Grandma. Well,
no. I'm saying, isn't it the same actress that played his mother and grandmother? Supposedly,
I believe so.
Like the woman at the USO tour is the same actress that played his mother, right? Star-Lord's mother.
So
find out.
So I'm 100% behind the joke now because of this meme.
I mean, so it even answers a logical problem in canon, because
I'll put it in the private chat.
You have Star-Lord being half celestial for reasons, and that's supposed to be why he was able to do all of the powered things that he does. But it's like, no, he's also part super soldier because Captain America's got super sperm.
Well, now does his sperm like translate the super soldier genetics to a kid if he bangs some chick?
Ayrton,
I don't think
American
in the book he has a kid
from an American hero, because Captain American is the ideal American. That is Patriot sperm, sir.
Oh, that is the same chick. Holy shit! Yeah, same actress. Damn.
So,
anyways, but does his super soldier serum transfer through the sperm though? This is the kind of nerd debates that this show needs to be.
Actually, in comics, when Steve has reproduced, the answer to that question is yes. Although he generally reproduces with somebody else with superpowers, so it's kind of a nebulous yes.
Well, and it's not just the super soldier serum; it was the Vita Rays as well, which was a like kind of a precursor to the radiation, basically the gamma radiation that Bruce Banner was exposed to. So the Vita rays and the radiation, the Vita rays and the gamma radiation are essentially the same gimmick. So he's kind of always hulked out.
This is
in
actually
Captain America
extremely
form,
frustrating to me.
even though it's why?
Well, because they've done lots of inheritors, and usually I'm very much against kid or son of characters, right? But if you did,
but this makes sense.
If you
Yeah,
did
but I'm okay
son
with
of
this one.
Captain America, yeah, where it's literally he's a kid who just his mom, had him. He grew up. He's got all the usual kid stuff, but he's got kind of a low key Spider-Man vibe because holy shit, he's got powers and doesn't know why. And it turns out his dad is fucking Captain America, or his grandfather is just Captain America. That's amazing.
It would be no. Here's the thing. No, Cross, you're not understanding. The lady in the first image is the woman that slept with Ego to create Star-Lord. The lady in the second image is the woman that slept with Captain America, presumably to create the woman that slept with Ego. So Captain America is Star-Lord's grandfather, and Star-Lord's mother is Captain America's daughter.
Right, and they are the same.
That's the joke.
He's a quarter super soldier, not half.
Yeah,
but he's also
half all that matters if it's just
he's only a quarter human at that point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all that matters is you have one drop of blood
and 1/8 Cherokee.
1/16 Cherokee War Princess to top it all off.
Hey, that's still more than Elizabeth Warren.
Hey, he had to get that smooth dance moving.
That's
from
correct.
Somewhere.
So
that's right.
So I watched the She-Hulk show, and
why?
That's the universe's ass. Thank you.
The reason I watched the She-Hulk show is I was a huge fan of the John Byrne era of She-Hulk, and
which one was that?
That was the original breaking the fourth wall, sexy, confident She-Hulk.
That's the one where She-Hulk actually did Deadpool before Deadpool stole her bit.
Well, Moon Knight also did Deadpool before Deadpool stole his bit.
Yeah, but Moon Knight started by doing Batman's bit and was a serious character for a while.
So, my central problem.
Stop deserving. God damn it, Ayrton.
I mean, it's just a dog. So my first
God damn it.
problem is,
why are you all against me?
Because it's your birthday. We're giving you presents.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
So
my first before you get into this, Larry, I'm going to agree with Cross. A couple cringe moments, but it wasn't bad.
So let me open up.
It was written for like it was a keep. Go ahead. I'll make my points afterwards.
So let me open up here with, first of all, it was made thinking the audience was kind of dumb. Do you really need to know why there's a chick who's big and green and her cousin is Bruce Banner? Do we need to see the car wreck, her getting the gamma radiation in her blood, her beating up some rando dude at a biker bar? No, you don't need to see any of that.
Well,
it doesn't add anything.
Well, I mean, in the original comics, it was the blood transfusion.
Right.
Well, it wasn't just a couple of drops of blood got into an open wound.
Yeah. And that would have at least been somewhat different. But again, we don't need that to get into what this show wants to do. So basically everything until the final act of the show is kind of a waste. And adds nothing really to what the show's going to be about. It's a really bad pilot. The big thing that everybody on the internet's angry about that I agree with is the whole Jen belittling Bruce about, being a survivor of abuse and having watched his dad beat his mom to death and saying, I have serious problems because somebody catcalled me on the street. Okay. Check your privilege. She didn't use the check your privilege line, but
The thing is, in my opinion, as someone who hasn't had a chance to see it, I wanted to watch it today, but there was no free time. I have other things to do. Um, my issues are not in show because I want to see the show and judge it on its own merits. And I'll certainly admit that just by experience, we know that most check your privilege moments are absolute garbage. Always have been. So that's not to be surprised. No, my issue is that I think, based on what they've said in interviews, in the build-up, there was no clear cohesion of vision about this show. Because they wanted to do a show where She-Hulk is really cool and powerful and interesting, but they outright said, we don't know enough about like legal procedure, and it all seems really dry, and we have no idea how to make an interesting law procedural with superheroes, despite the fact that there are many shows that have done legal procedural, and using the superhero angle would be interesting. I mean, for fuck's sake, you can at least watch Harvey Birdman and get how this is done, right? And instead decided to do Ally McBeal, mid-90s soap opera about single female lawyer having lots of sex that Futurama made fun of. Okay, it's not the best foot forward, and that's certainly
they don't
not
even
something
really
you want
do
to
Ally
publicly
McBeal
say.
right. They don't even really do Ally McBeal right.
So, as someone who hasn't seen it but intends to fully watch it and give a serious opinion, it's not a good starting place either. They soured the mill before we got there, and we were already predisposed to be disdainful because we are.
So, yeah, but I wasn't predisposed to be disdainful because I again love the fourth wall breaking She-Hulk character.
No, I'm saying we as a group, especially in current year, we are somewhat predisposed to expect bad because of the track record of bad Marvel television. We can hope for good. We kind of expect it to be shit. It's
you really mean all of it being bad? You mean really that track record?
It's really a question of how much shit is it. You know, because like Moon Knight was, in my opinion, maybe 60-40, 70-30 shit. There were some really good bits when they let Oscar Isaac off the hook.
Well, only because he's not running around demanding that Dracula pay him back his $20 already.
If they had done the thing, if they had done the scene we've been talking about,
actually, you know what? You know what they should have done to open up She-Hulk? What? I think this would have like lightened the mood for everybody. I think the first scene of She-Hulk, instead of her like being mansplained to by a lawyer, should have been her walking into a room as She-Hulk with other superheroes from the current MCU, and then Moon Knight going like, "Oh fuck, a lawyer," and running away.
You have She-Hulk. You have She-Hulk walk into her office where there's already a massive line because there are so many superhero legal cases, right? And there are like two cops, and one of them has a little thing on his nose because he's been punched in the face, right? And there's Oscar Isaacs as Moon Knight with an IV feed of like antibiotics and
ketamine.
No, it's like system cleanse juice. Sitting
and ketamine.
Sitting, shaking, coming down off of a high in like a bathrobe and one of those emergency blankets, and his hands are covered in blood, because clearly he was just running around town hitting people.
But
he was just donkey punching randos and demanding $20 in ketamine.
But let me circle back to Joe's point about the lack of vision. Hulk is a Gamma guy. Hey, Miss Rena. He's a Gamma guy who got his powers because he has anger that comes from shame. All the people with Gamma powers felt shame. This is something Rune and I talked about. And after rereading some things, they were all ashamed. And they were transformed by the Gamma radiation to be something that they're not ashamed of. But the people who wrote this were like going, nah, people know Hulk is angry, yo. So we have to make her angry. and make that a central part of the story, and it's dumb. It's not well thought out. It's not entertaining. It's not different. It's not distinct. They're not creating a new brand. They're just making a female version of the Hulk brand, which waters down the Hulk brand.
Well, the problem isn't even necessarily, to be entirely fair, that Jennifer Walters is angry. She could be angry. It's misunderstanding what anger is and why people have anger.
No. My concern isn't that Jennifer Walters is angry. My thing is they're making her angry because they think people are too stupid to associate a Hulk with something other than anger.
No, I agree, but I'm just saying, if there was a scenario, if they had the chutzpah to tell the story, right, where we're going to talk about Jen Walters being angry and reveal that her anger comes from a place of a deep lack of confidence and a deep sense of an unreasoning level of fear, right, because she's just afraid of people, always has been, right, that still keeps on track. Like, it makes sense. That's the thing, is that it needs to be deeper than I'm angry all the time. It needs to be anger caused by something, and it needs to be personal.
Also, the space aliens from the Avengers movies are back for some reason.
What?
Yeah, the Chitauri are back for some reason.
Because you don't have to pay to introduce more problems, and you haven't set up Secret Invasion yet.
Fair. And of course, Secret Invasion is supposed to be the Skrulls, but you know what? Whatever.
I did watch the first 20 minutes of of She-Hulk today, and I was upset that the aliens never got paid off.
Well, I mean,
be careful, man. I hear Moon Knight attacks with all sorts of random bullshit. Please, I got him dead to rights. Now to random bullshit, go.
Hey, look, it could even be. I'm gonna give these guys more credit than they deserve, because let's just hypothesize for a moment. It could be that it's not even the Chitauri. They could discover they're robots or alien illusions or dudes in rubber masks, right? And it's actually
maybe Bruce Banner's a Skrull now.
And it's a long-term scam by the leader, and they could be using She-Hulk to introduce the leader, which would be interesting.
No.
But
let's talk about this real quick. No, maybe Bruce Banner's a Skrull now because they were separated, and the Bruce that got back, like, to Jen Walters, could very well be like a mind wipe Skrull who just has Bruce Banner's memories, and
because he hulked out and he had a special device to make him not hulked out for a little bit for some reason.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, they definitely couldn't make. They couldn't make a hulking Skrull. Well, that's not something that could happen. Come on, man.
Look, even if they could,
suspend your disbelief. This is comics.
In a better writing room, all you would have to do is have an episode that is a flashback that does the dramatic reveal as Jen Walters was like, oh God, my cousin has been replaced by a Skrull, and explain to us how it happened between the show and Avengers. That's it. That's all you need. And then any inconsistencies in personality are literally covered up by, oh, he's a Skrull.
Yeah.
But
again,
I was able to watch. Yeah, I was able to watch Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk is making me want to undo my Disney Plus subscription again.
Oh no, you should absolutely undo your Disney Plus subscription anyway. They're raising prices.
So
what?
Disney Plus is going to raise prices pronouncedly.
Yeah.
The price for the package now, when you're getting all three, Hulu, Discovery, and Disney Plus, is now going to be the base package for one, and the package for the price for the package is going to be higher. Because they can get away with it.
They sound like the FBI.
Oh, you mean gay?
Yeah.
Gay.
You know, I actually had that particular run of Spider-Man comics, which featured Moon Knight.
Mrs. Church has made a meaningful comment. They did apparently cover how a woman's baseline is fear and anger. I don't know if I agree.
Oh yeah, women are always angry.
I don't like that particular assertion, but I'm not gonna get in a 1v1 madam with Mrs. Church.
Well,
oh, you should. That would be great content.
No, not for me. It wouldn't.
Look, Church is the only one who can 1v1 Mrs. Church. That's literally how marriage works here.
Indeed.
No, that's called domestic abuse.
Like I said, not if it's written into the contract. Till death do us part, baby.
Look, what the two of you do in the privacy of your bedroom with your whips and your chains is your business.
Remember, as Sean Connery taught us, it's not abuse if it's an open hand.
Jesus Christ.
I'm disappointed to know you people sometimes.
And
I hate you so much.
And if
well, first
Opie
off,
and Anthony tells us anything correctly, Mike Tyson says you should use the phone book because it doesn't leave as many bruises.
Right? Yeah, it won't leave as many marks. Yeah, no, I got it.
Again, I'm disappointed to know you people sometimes.
So,
Church and me are out. We're going drinking. Fuck this.
Right, you guys run this shit into the ground. No,
Rune, I'm pretty sure I said like a year ago. I want to drive you to start drinking.
I mean, that's not going to happen, but I will certainly go with a friend who is going to drink.
You two motherfuckers. All right, I let Larry do his review. Now I have gotten the down low from Mrs. Church. She is a She-Hulk fan, has been since before they even announced there being a show. If I'm not mistaken, she has She-Hulk #1 as one of her prize collection comics. And she made a point that this is a show written by a female writer who is writing a female character from a female perspective. And taking a step back, that is something that Marvel needs to focus on, especially when you look at properties like Captain Marvel and Black Widow. Who was
written by a female writer and female director.
Which one?
Star.
Which one?
The Captain Marvel movie with Brie Larson.
Or just Captain? Yeah, but my wife and I can kind of agree that was a woman with a vengeance, not not one actually trying to tell a story.
Here's the thing. What it leads us to is the reality, in my opinion, that the issue is not women. It's not women in media. It's not women making media. It's not media about women.
Are you sure?
It's about... Yes.
Okay.
It's about the presentation of that information. Our story should be better. Our content should be better. And quite frankly, as someone who enjoys content and is classically liberal in sense, it's like we deserve better stories of this type because we need better depictions of women. One of the offensive elements that gets us on this subject over and over and over again is not just that it's bad comics, but it's bad at what it purports to desire to want to do.
Also, Miss Marvel, the TV series, was the showrunner was a woman. And let me just look at the episode directors and writers.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Please do.
So my whole thing isn't that I personally, from what I saw about it, I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with She-Hulk. My big problem came from that one controversial scene about how it seems as if the Hulk is being
Ayrton,
discredited.
No, yeah. the Hulk is being belittled as
the Hulk I could tell in your hesitation.
But if I take that one scene and I just chalk it up to being a little bit on the nose. It's not one
scene. It's two scenes. She does it twice.
You know the one I'm talking about, though. If I take that and I say that's just a little bit on the nose, and then I take that and I extrapolate it into the bigger discussion of media's just kind of been shit for a long time now.
Or how about the fact that culture? Or how about the fact that culture belittles male survivors of abuse and treats them as subjects of mockery? And it's generally women who are used in media to mock male survivors of abuse.
That's a completely different discussion. I think. I don't think that's where She-Hulk is going.
So the Miss Marvel series, by the way, all the episodes were written by women.
Miss Church, I can get you
I didn't even attempt.
I can get you a list, but anything that I could pull off of the top of my head
is a porn movie.
I no. That's your list, Ayrton.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
I feel anything I can pull off the top of my head might be disingenuous to what is a reasonable question. So I'll put together a list. I'll throw it at Church and be like, Church, throw this at Mrs. Church. And
I do actually have a legitimate answer to this.
Also, Black Widow was directed by a woman too.
What?
The Black Widow movie was also directed by a woman. So all the things involving women are almost yep.
That's really sad then. Because that was just a TNA fest.
Well, see, my thing is that the reason I don't want to answer Mrs. Church's question directly at this time is because the three that come off the top of my head are the three everyone always uses: Linda Hamilton, Ripley,
Terminator 2,
so
Terminator also
2,
WandaVision was also show ran by a woman.
But the thing is, those are primarily
WandaVision wasn't bad though. I'll defend WandaVision for a while.
No, but
like the Ralph Boner payoff was shit. But other than that,
the thing is, those are primarily action films, and the argument can be made is like, oh well, action films appeal to men, therefore these are women's depictions appealing to men. I would much prefer to find a range of films, including dramas, comedies, romantics, and action, and horror that show women in positions of not conforming to the arbitrariness of the Bechdel test.
See, technically the movie I'm gonna say is, I guess, technically an action movie, but the Asian chick that I can't remember her name in the James Bond movie Tomorrow Never Dies is a fantastic female depiction in that kind of space.
Isn't that Lucy Liu?
No, I don't think so.
No, that's what's her face from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yeah, Tomorrow Never Dies. She is fantastic. Her character was
Michelle Yeoh. Thank you.
Yeah. Wei Lin.
So
the character is Wei Lin.
She did so good in that movie. They were considering doing a spin-off series with that character at that time.
No, that's a lie that the Broccoli family always uses.
Really? I thought they
with Jinx, and they did the same thing about the black lady who they made as 007, the most recent Bond movie. It's a standard bait from the production executives behind James Bond. Also, all the writers, all but 2 episodes of WandaVision were written by females. Show was ran by females, predominantly female writer room.
I don't think WandaVision was bad.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm not saying bad. What I'm saying is, Church, that's all they're doing with female-led franchises is it's predominantly female, and all of them are mediocre.
I'm just saying that issues in the production are not a one-to-one parody. It's bad because it's women, and whether that is what you are saying.
Wait, did they never give this?
No one's saying that, Rune. Why are you bringing that up?
Let me finish. Whether that's what you mean or what that's intended.
No, why are you bringing that up? Why are you poisoning the well, Rune?
I'm not poisoning the well. Let me finish. I have to finish the sentence so you know what the fuck I'm saying, Larry. Okay. Whether that's what you intended or what that's actually mean, which we know it is not, right? Other people may take it that way. They may presume that is the problem. It's one of the things that makes it harder to have the reasonable conversation about what the actual problem is, which is the poor quality of the product. The final product's got to be good. That's always been the bar for success. I don't care who makes it. I don't care how the sausage gets made, but the sausage better taste like fucking sausage.
But again, that was not a good way to open your argument. But the only female-led franchise of the MCU that was not led by a female in a creative position was the Kate Bishop show.
Didn't watch that terrible? One either. Didn't care.
It was also terrible.
I do.
All of these are mediocre.
Well, real quick,
because
let me just jump.
Most streaming shows are mediocre.
Let me just jump in here. I think that we're also all a little bit jaded that they spent over a decade developing these franchises and then have tried to, in less than 2 years, dismantle them. I think having the character growth of a character like Hawkeye, going from this kind of happy-go-lucky secret agent to a broken man, an assassin, and then killing his best friend, only to replace him with a teenager that wasn't as well introduced as she was in the comic books. Then having Captain America just kind of hand over his shield because, well, I just wanted to live my life that I got frozen out of, even though, I've got a whole new life already, but fuck that one and everybody that cares about me here. I'm just going to become an old man. And then you have, the Falcon becoming Captain America without the merits that he had in the comic books when they did it. It feels like they spent a decade developing a franchise and then we're like, okay, now we're going to speed run destroying the fuck out of this thing.
Well,
they're speed running the DC method.
Well, that's what Jimcock's been pontificating for the last week and a half. Is that secretly Kevin Feige wanted to just kill the MCU in the cradle at the end of Endgame?
Well, no, that's because Jimcock works for senior management at Disney, who wants to minimize.
I'm just saying that he's purporting this idea, and there are people who are eating it randomly. That they just wanted to end it.
Wait, Doomcock works for Disney?
He's getting dirt from Disney management.
Yeah, he used to get authentic leaks. He is more than likely now getting curated leaks from mouthpieces. And probably also getting real leaks as well.
It's like back in the old days of Hollywood when there were gossip columnists.
I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't want to get any kind of leak from any kind of mouth.
Oof.
Usually
but
you got to get a shot for that.
It's like the old days of gossip columnists in Hollywood, but now it's YouTubers.
Yeah. What I was saying is that is a mechanism they're trying to say. It's like if you're wondering why it seems like things aren't as good now, it's like, oh well, because we're keeping the machine going, but we wanted to end it way earlier, which we know is a lie. Disney loves money. They'll keep this machine going as long as they can.
By the way, Jessica Jones was also creatively directed by women. So, with the exception of the Kate Bishop show, every single Marvel franchise property was led by a woman.
I'm just going to say Jessica Jones is not a metric to measure by.
Jessica Jones was actually a good show.
Yeah,
first season. Show. First season was good. Subsequent seasons, not so much.
I'm sorry, Purple Rape Man was not fun to watch.
No, and he's not
supposed to be.
And he's
not supposed to be. Kilgrave is supposed to make you vehemently uncomfortable.
Also, for anyone playing Vampire the Requiem or Vampire the Masquerade, that's what Dominate looks like, people. It's not a fun power. The
Disney Plus price increase isn't sitting well with subscribers.
Oh, really?
Imagine that.
Subscribers will have to pay a little more if they want to keep Disney Plus without ads. The Walt Disney Company held its third quarter 2022 earnings call on Wednesday afternoon, where it unveiled Disney Plus Basic and Premium tiers. The Disney Plus Basic tier includes ads, will run $7.99 a month with no option for an annual subscription. And the Disney Plus Premium tier without ads will be increasing to $10.99 a month and $109.99 annually, an increase of $3 a month, or an annual $40 increase.
Yeah,
naturally, users are debating the merits of the price hike and whether they want to continue paying for Disney Plus or not on social media.
I love you guys, and I like to be informed, but I'm not going to give them $7 a month to watch
Papa
TV
Disney,
with ads.
No, it's $11 a month for no ads.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not giving them $8 a month to watch with ads on the internet.
But Papa Disney has to raise their prices because they're broke. Disney is broke.
I mean, that's the thing. We're actually watching
with our new ad-supported.
Sorry. Proceed.
With our new ad-supported Disney Plus offerings and an expanded lineup of plans across our site and streaming portfolio, Kareem Daniel, chairman of Disney Media and Entertainment Distribution, said in a statement, "We will be providing a greater consumer choice at a variety of price points to cater to the diverse needs of our viewers." Because, the product we've been offering is just perfectly fine, so we had to go and fuck it up by throwing ads in there that nobody fucking wanted.
That's the thing is
that's a direct quote, by the way.
I used to watch stuff on Hulu with ads because it was free. Then they took away the ability to have free, so you could pay for service with ads to see stuff, and then you could pay for service without ads to see stuff. I stopped paying for Hulu. I'm not paying for ads.
You understand that people have long since cut their cable to buy streaming services,
right?
So that they didn't have to watch commercials.
Right.
Well, Church, you're not old enough. You're not old enough to know this, but people got cable to stop watching commercials originally.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I have commented that I have thought about either getting the descrambler or an antenna or both, and watching traditional television, because I'll put up with whatever random shit I can pull out of the air, so I don't have to deal with this. Get 3 different services to watch 3 different types of television bullshit.
Dude, when I still had a TV, I had a digital antenna. It was fucking awesome. You got like 40 channels.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I totally missed that Spider-Man image that was posted in the show chat. That is awful.
Yeah. How did you miss that?
Let's talk about comics for a minute. Pull that shit up.
All right, hold on.
That is terrible and offensive.
Let's zoom and enhance.
All right,
and enhance.
All right. Here, I'll zoom in a little bit.
Oh, Spider-Man in the wheelchair with crutches.
Webs.
Lesbian Spider-Man in a wheelchair.
Holy shit, those are crutches. Motherfucker.
Yeah, the crutches shoot the webs.
How dare you bigot, not realize that Spider-Man's a lesbian because of that flag that she's having in the chair. Now, I mean, is she in the chair because of a disability, or is it because her partner beat her into the wheelchair?
If she's flagging herself in the chair, I don't know if we can show that on stream.
All right. Let me walk through this real quick as a script writer. So, panel 1, Spider-Woman swinging through the air.
Oops.
Right. Panel 2.
Spider-Woman how do you descending. Know you don't know their gender.
Panel 2, Spider-Man descending. Right. Panel 3, Spider-Man.
Spiders
no. Let me correct.
Spider person.
Random woman with blue hands in wheelchair with flags. Wait, how did she get there? Who is this person? Where are the 1 to 2 panels in between that indicate made it to ground level, getting my costume out? The fuck?
If I'm not mistaken, her chair is webbed up on her back, by the way.
Right, but wait a minute. It gets better, because then we jump to next panel, right? So panel 4 of this spread, right? Man and woman walking down the street, arm in arm, presumably prom or wedding or whatnot. Wheelchair is just there. Did she land on the street, change right there in front of witnesses, and now she's going down? Or are we led to believe that these people should be waiting for her? And
it's
just
not Blue Hand.
Going?
Hold up.
It's Rainbow Gloves as well.
What is the context of this terrible fucking panel?
Hold up, Rune. You're missing the most important part. The first two panels where Spider Zur is using their legs are followed up by two panels of Spider Zur in a wheelchair. So is Spider Zur pretending to need a wheelchair to move around?
You know what the answer is. Spider Zur is a 5th level rogue, and they are actually more combat capable with the combat wheelchair.
I mean, obviously.
I want a combat wheelchair. How do I get one of those?
Suck a lot of cock.
No, you see if you're playing in the game run by me or Rune, you don't get the combat wheelchair from Rune. I say, you're not gonna get a combat wheelchair, but how would you like to be a master blaster? Having a big giant guy who you're strapped to the back of that you just walk around with.
Hey, I'm okay with a giant floating doom throne if you're a wizard.
So this is an alternate version of Spider-Man, I guess.
Oh, really?
Edge of the Spider-Verse.
It's part of a What If Spider-Man series. It's terrible.
So we need to review this next week, is what I'm hearing.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm only willing to review that one terrible X-Men comic book because a friend of mine who's super into X-Men felt the need to tell me.
I tried. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't read
Churchill,
House of X. Me and
Churchill Ray did it when it came out.
Let me say again for anyone watching: don't read House of X. Don't do it.
No.
For
so
fuck's sake.
House and Powers
of
X.
Self-respect.
House and Powers of X were pretty intriguing when they came out, and you read them together in the order they're supposed to be read in. Everything that came out afterwards was terrible.
Here's the thing: I've got a question. Church, you had us read that occult horror comic about rich people with magic doing awful things. Was that Hickman?
That was Hickman.
Yeah, that was Hickman.
So Hickman's structure for telling a story is a couple of panels of action, which is mostly people talking, followed by extraneous non sequitur information that is, quote, world building by way of a dossier.
Yes.
Oh, and a weird code that you have to decipher throughout the series.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that. Okay,
so
I really did. I really tried to dig in. I really tried to. It's like I want to know what this is about, and they kept introducing interesting things. I'm like, okay, so Xavier's lost his mind,
unfinished occult classic, the Black Monday murders. By the way,
I'm talking about House of X.
No, the rich magic people was the Black Monday murders.
But I'm reading. It's like, okay, I'm interested. The government would be willing to suck mutant cock for cures to major diseases. Okay, this is interesting. And then we just leave it there. And it's like, okay,
no, it's not because it has the X-Men going to war with the Russian government.
And then of course
they don't do anything interesting with that.
And we also know that they're not going to use it. It's not going to happen in the Marvel universe. It didn't fucking happen, right? The same way that Wakanda won't give people the cure to fucking AIDS, the X-Men didn't end cancer. It's a fucking dodge, right? But no, that's not the problem. Then it's like, okay, so now these government dipshits are going to go into this room and they're going to talk to somebody. Okay, like who's our ambassador? Magnus. Well, fuck. Okay, we're going to talk to Magnus. And what is Magnus's position? Well, we've made an island for ourselves. It's an island nation, and you're just not allowed to go there because it's the tiny portion of the planet mutants own, and fuck you too. It's like, wait, what? You actually think that's gonna result? You think that's gonna work?
Hold up.
We are led to believe that Charles Xavier, in the body of another guy, approved of this message.
Well, I mean, it's Plant Xavier. None of these are the actual mutants. They're all plant people.
We didn't know they were plants yet. At the time.
We knew they were plants because the plants were literally introduced in the first comic.
Right. But they hadn't, by the time I stopped reading, they hadn't explained that they had been replaced by plants yet.
They've never technically explained that they were replaced by plants. We just all know.
Well, because that's how they're going to undo
so fucking obvious.
That's how they're going to undo it when they have to return to status quo, because that's how this always goes. Because status quo is God.
It's because they don't know what the X-Men are supposed to be about, just like they don't know what She-Hulk's supposed to be about. They just know that they want to consume product, sell product, and get excited for next product.
Really, that's the thing. When you guys were like, you should read this, and you were like, oh no, I was like, okay, I'll give it an honest shot, because I didn't tell you guys I was going to go read it. I don't tell you guys when I'm going to go expose myself to the cancer, because I want to expose myself to the cancer clean, so that I can have a clean opinion of it. And it's like, no, as I read this, it was so awful. It was so corrosive to my brain that it angried up my blood. It's angering up my blood now.
Did you read it with Powers of X in the order that he wrote it in?
I want to say yes. I don't remember which one I cracked first.
Well, so it's like one issue of House of X, one issue of Power of X, 2 issues of House of X, one issue of Power of X, and like it's in a weird sequence.
You can always get the canonical reading order of any series off of Comic Book Herald.
I was reading the trade paperback, so I was assuming.
Oh yeah, they're never condensed. Yeah, they're never bound in canonical order, which I think is a disservice.
It really is. I mean, well, the obvious answer is if you're going to do major events, right? You sell the events in form, right? So the story is clear, which means if you have 2 events that are interconnected, you sell them as a pair.
I'm hijacking the stream. This is now a Stiltman appreciation stream.
Well, while Church is doing that, so
okay.
So Rune, I remember when they came out and we were reviewing them each week, I think, as they came out. Reading them in the order that Hickman said you should read them in, which is in the back of each book, by the way, for people listening.
Right.
Was a lot more fun because it kept jumping back and forth between like the quote main storyline with like the island and then like jumping like, what was it, 100 years in the future or something like that, Church?
Yeah.
Like I thought it was enjoyable enough. Go like with the bouncing kind of back and forth. It almost had like a cinematic feel to the reading because of the way it was jumping. I don't know. I liked it. It was fun. So everything after was terrible, but
so you know what? We have Rune's blood angry up enough to talk about Dungeons and Dragons now.
Oh, all right. I have a lower third for that ready.
No, here's the thing. Oddly enough, the Dungeons and Dragons thing does not antagonize me as much as EVS.
Okay, so do we want to talk about Ethan and his poor decisions on how to shave his head?
I mean, it's only been almost an hour.
We can jump into it if you start to get a little out of the way. I mean, we can calm you down if we need to.
Or just
I'll hover my finger over the mute button.
Yeah, see, I'm not a bitch. I'm gonna say mute me if you have to.
Yeah.
Racism time, okay.
No, that was for D&D.
I want to be clear.
This is apparently misogyny time. If we're going
let me be clear, because this is as close to Alex Jones as I'm ever going to get. Because this is as close to Alex Jones as I'm ever going to get. Okay. Larry tried to do you guys a solid. He tried to come to me and be like, hey, Joe, how'd you feel about that thing? And I'm like, I feel very angry about the thing. And he's like, yeah, well, maybe we should have it. Calm me down a bit. I'm like, no, I'm going to save my anger for the show. It's going to happen. I'm mad now. I want to hold on to this. I want to nurse it. And Larry was like, well, look, some things. It's not that it was staged, but apparently EVS went to Nerdette and tried to establish, how are the ground rules going to go. And she said, my show, my business, I'm not going to do that. And so everything that proceeded in that show was EVS basically fucking with her to punish her for daring to defy him. Okay.
Well, I mean, and he told her he was going to do that in advance, so she was doing that for the clicks.
And to be fair,
both of them are awful people.
To be fair,
and I win because I didn't watch it. I was the winner of that stream.
But Rune, to be fair, I fuck with you and Larry as punishment for being on this show.
Sure,
so
but that's fun ribbing. No, the thing is that this does not mollify me for my basic problem. All right, and my basic problem is that if this is true, right? If this is the decorum and the behavior that EVS brings to his work, right? Which should be about comics and what's good for comics. Okay, then EVS is not good for comics. EVS needs to get the fuck out. EVS is a knuckle-dragging, backward barbarian, an ape, a fucking dick-shaped moron with a beard hanging off of his chin that looks like scrotum, and he needs to go away and never return.
Hold up, Ayrton. You need to clip that out so we can put that into a super clip. We should need to start putting a super clip of all of Rune being angry.
All right. Look,
that's fantastic.
He was given a platform to speak well for indie comics, for Cyberfrog, for the media,
to defend his positions.
Good with it, and instead of doing that, he instead decided to denigrate and be rude to a woman, back and forth, making funny quips about Christianity.
Did she deserve it though?
Stupid, talking about how she's stupid and how Eric July is stupid and how Ethan and Skyver is responsible for everything because he invented indie comics. Lying fuck. Defund.
Hold up.
Defund. Do not support Cyberpunk. Take your money back. Give it to Peter Samedi. Pay someone who fucking matters. Give it to Don Chin. Do not support this human testicle wart.
Hold up. Rune, you took him seriously after he attacked Mike Miller for his Christianity and Doug Tenaple?
Right. He attacked them for their Christianity and tweeting that pride is a sin, and then goes on and fucking prays for 2 full minutes on their death in the intro.
And it wasn't fucking funny.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't supposed to be funny.
And then he went on for 2 hours to that's right, give it to Cross Comics and Miss Rena. Because they support the gospel.
Right, and that's like my argument is that if he's going to waste his time doing that to the detriment of Medium, then no, don't give him your fucking money. Give it to someone else. If he's going to go for the rage clicks and he wants to be a provocateur internet personality, he can earn money from fucking super chats and Patreon like the rest of us, and he can stop extorting people for fucking comics he's not going to finish.
I mean, he's made more money. He's made more money off of super chats than he ever made working for a major comic book publisher.
Then he shouldn't fucking present himself like he's the patron fucking saint of comics. He is not Stan Lee returned. He is not the second coming.
I mean,
and he never will be.
He is Stan Lee in the sense that he takes other people's ideas and likes to take credit for them.
Yeah, but Stan Lee was likable. We liked Uncle
Stan. He
Stan.
absolutely would sign all of his names to Jack Kirby's comic books. Ethan would absolutely sign his name to every one of Jack Kirby's comic books and take credit for them.
And by the way, for people who are wondering, no, I will in fact say this to EVS's face. I don't.
What's going on with Rune?
I never have.
Why is he usually calm when freaking out?
So Rune, back up and kind of lay out your spurgery for Miss Rena, if you will.
She didn't watch this video.
The answer, Miss Rena, is EVS, whether as a joke or as a statement of his own hubris, was very unkind to a podcast that used to be CG aligned and did not play ball with him in his preferred way. And in so doing, made a very bad showing for everyone who wants to be in the indie sphere. And he's a very bad man who is using his position to gatekeep indie comics, to keep people like you and me out of the business.
I mean, hold up. It doesn't make a bad showing because both of the people who were involved have a bad reputation. They just have big, oversized audiences. So it basically was meaningless. But then, hey, we're all talking about it and being angry about Ethan acting uncouth, which promotes Ethan's brand and helps him get super chats and people buying Frog comics that'll never be produced.
All right, well then answer me this, Larry. why did we bring this up? Why did we do this? Not just because you wanted to hear me be angry and that's funny. I'm saying why are we simping for a person we don't like?
Oh,
I don't know, Church. Why are we doing?
Oh no, we are. We are simps if we are supporting a brand of a piece of shit that we don't approve of.
I mean, Church. Why are we talking about Ethan? Oh, Church is muted because it was Church's idea.
Church is not muted.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he is.
Yeah.
I presume he's over there laughing his ass off and drinking more alcohol.
So Miss Rena says, wait, why would EVS gatekeep indie creators?
Because EVS makes his money by basically regulating who gets EVS's support and that of wider Comicsgate to get in.
Here's the trick, though. Ethan will bring in people who already have an audience, who aren't controlled by Ethan. They don't really get as big bump.
Right. But he has no interest in helping unknowns. He's not raising the tide for everyone. He's raising the tide for him.
Well, no, here's the thing. He actually made a point in this debate that part of his volunteer work, as he calls it, is supporting other creators in their endeavors, but only if you toe the line.
You know, Church, I'd like some volunteer work that I get paid north of $75,000 for.
Right.
I'd like some volunteer work that would enable me to buy a multi-million-dollar house.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you hook me up with that volunteer work? I will do that today.
I would be doing that volunteer work myself.
And
it's called an OnlyFans, Larry.
And that's my fucking point.
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. Most people with OnlyFans don't make good money.
True. No.
that's a very good point.
And that's the thing.
It's a predatory ecosystem.
And that's the thing. If I go and if I broker work with Peter Zametti, or if I somehow get picked up with Don Chin because he thinks I'm funny looking, and we make a book, it's for the book, right?
Right.
I do not like the idea that there is a man who, because he was an industry insider and everyone decided to suck his dick to hopefully maybe get to ride his coattails into the future, right? When he can walk away at any time and get picked right back up at a major house, that he can control who gets in and who doesn't by saying, well, you have to toe the line. You have to meet my standards, not business standards, not the standards of someone actually running a fucking comic house, but Ethan Van Sciver's personal standards for what is good and right.
So, and let me make a comment that I believe
before you do that. I've got to answer the question that was asked of me while I was AFK. The reason I wanted to talk about this is for 3 reasons. Miss Rena, we're discussing a debate that happened between Nerdette Newsstand and Ethan Van Sciver, neither of which am I particularly fond of. However, I do think that as the larger creator, as the mouthpiece of an indie comics movement, whatever, Ethan Van Sciver made an ass of himself on a public platform, calling a woman stupid and an idiot, and just trying to just completely disjoint her entire argument. Whenever she would bring up a valid criticism, he would brush it off and say it wasn't an issue, and then completely just missed the goddamn point. He brought up 3 points that just rubbed me the wrong way, on top of insulting his host and being a general piece of shit. The first thing that bothered me was him insulting Nerdette just outright when she was at least trying to express some form of professionalism. I don't think she did well at it, but she tried.
Based on their back and forth, I don't think that they were trying that.
Well,
I think they were both trying to create shitty YouTube content.
Can I edgewise in here though, Church, that in so doing, he verified to detractors of indie comics everything they say about us.
Well,
he
secondly,
played the stereotype. Yeah.
The first point beyond the insulting bit, he out and out said that he's not in it to compete with the mainstream comics, which, from what I understood in 2018 when this thing got off the ground, is that's what we were trying to do. We were trying to form a community that would actually fund comics that were not calling us white supremacists and Nazis for buying comics. That's no longer the problem. The problem is we've got to turn Cyberfrog into a movie, bro.
Fucker.
My second point of contention is he made an issue where he said that the only in context, I should say, these weren't the exact words used, but it was the point he tried to get across, that Eric July, Young Rippa, is only successful because he's been texting Ethan Van Sciver for 2 years. But then when you look at his process, he did everything the exact opposite way that Ethan Van Sciver's been doing it.
I mean, Young Rippa's successful because he's on the Blaze, and he's semi-regularly on Fox News. He's got a bigger footprint than Ethan.
Is it Young Rippa or is it Zuby on the Blaze?
Young Rippa. Zuby's been on some Blaze shows, but Eric July has a show on there, I believe, and I guess on like all the other shows.
Yeah.
But and again, the last part of it is that he went on there and he basically acted like his shit didn't stink and he didn't need to answer any of the valid critique about, I don't know, having 15 fucking campaigns open. Well, I've completed 15 campaigns. No, sir. You have funded the publishing of books that should have already been funded and published for your friends to bail them out, which you had to do no work for. You've released one book that wasn't already completed. One. You've released Cyberfrog Blood Honey. Then you released some merchandise that you had no part in creating, except for throwing some logos at manufacturers. Then you release some toys that haven't been delivered. Then you release some reprints in a box that was delivered damaged on screen to one of your largest supporters.
I agree with Mrs. Church.
I don't understand. There's no hubris with this piece of shit.
I want Canadian Shield the movie.
There's no hubris. But there's no hubris with Ethan Van Sciver.
Wouldn't the problem be there's too much? There's too much hubris.
No,
there's no humbleness, I guess. Or no, hubris is humbleness, right?
No. Hubris is arrogance and pride. You mean humility? He lacks humility, and yes, that's the problem.
Does Ethan really look like a man with pride if you look at the way he shaved his head for that YouTube presentation?
Clearly he wanted to show off his penis. It's amazing that someone with a head that is a penis has been able to be alive this long.
But let's
just get a good shot of that. You said you had that pulled up, Ayrton. Let's just get a good shot of the penis head, and then we'll move on, I suppose.
I have the.
Well, wait a minute.
I just have the video.
Just skip through to.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah, just skip through till you get a good shot of the camera.
Well, wait a minute. I'm gonna clarify. With his beard, is it a penis head or is he just a scrotum? Is he just a testicle?
We're not saying he's an erect penis head.
I would love to say that he's never been erect, but I'm told he has children, and I feel sorry for the young woman that has taken a hit. Let
me just zoom in.
Zoom in the hands.
Oh, so let's play. Stop. It's playing. There we go. Just do that. I'll zoom in a little bit more. Get it all nice and.
Now, just imagine those sunglasses represent a piece of human anatomy. Why
is it zooming in on the YouTube logo? Fuck off.
Certain religious traditions.
Because your computer knows the YouTube logo looks better than Ethan Van Sciver.
But let me just put a good exclamation point on my feelings of Ethan Van Sciver, controversial YouTube personality. Ethan wasn't fired or blacklisted because of his politics. He was known for being an educator to people. He was known for being an educator to people he worked with.
Let me answer the chat here. Rainbow the Brute has not been released yet. No,
it's not been released yet.
I believe 2 years late, a year late, something like that.
Part of that was because he gave frickin' Cecil writing for a little while, and Cecil screwed off.
With that in mind, and I do want to hear Larry's opinion, but I don't retract anything I said. I stand by it. Fund.
So
take your money back.
So Ethan always had trouble meeting deadlines. He always trolled people who were his coworkers, and eventually everybody at DC was tired of working with him. And that's why DC
said, Larry, don't you understand? He was persecuted for voting for Trump.
No.
Something he had to tell literally no one.
Here's the thing. He was having problems with other creators on bulletin boards before Trump was the thing. And that's a problem he had at Marvel. It's a problem he had at DC. And I don't know the scope of John Malin's work outside of the fact that he worked for Rob Liefeld at one point in time, and he knew how to draw feet. So he was in some respects better than Rob Liefeld. But again, I imagine that's the same sort of problem. These are people who didn't know how to get along with their coworkers who had strong disagreements with them. Now, Rune has strong disagreements with us sometimes, but we know how to get along with Rune and do our job.
For the most part.
So do you.
Even though our job is, for maybe a dozen fans on a good day. And we appreciate
we average
all of you.
We average about 20 per episode.
So almost 2 dozen.
Yeah.
And we appreciate and love all of you.
We do.
All right. So Rainbow the Brute.
With my bullshit.
Rainbow the Brute closed.
By the way, remember,
and went in demand in January of 2021. The estimated shipping was December of 2021. Our last update was April of 2021. Let's look at some of the comments for Rainbow the Brute real quick. So sad 1 day ago. Can we get a status update? I've been waiting since November of 2020. I'm just here to say Nerdette is stupid. Okay, so this guy up 6 downvotes on that one. Any chance of another stretch goal being added if we get this campaign to 500,000 6 days ago? 3 downvotes on that guy. Would like to request a refund. 8 upvotes. Dude, you're leaving us hanging. 9 upvotes. Been trying to get a refund to change my order for like a month now. Can someone please get back to me on this? Can I please get a refund so I can change my order? Can I please get a refund so I can change my order? I've been trying to get this done for a while now. No customer service. That's one of the things CG was founded on, right? Customer service.
No, it wasn't. So if any of you want your refund, go to Kiwi Farms, set up a Kiwi Farms account, go @frog, say Ethan, I'm wanting a refund on my Rainbow the Brute. Go through all the refunds, and you'll eventually refund me mine.
Let's see here. Refund. So 2 refund requests that were ignored. Refund. Would like a refund. Hey, refund. The amount raised and the backer numbers, the amount has dropped by over $100,000. No, that's incorrect. Again, requesting a refund. I'd like a refund. At this rate, it'll be 2030 before Ethan finally checks on his neglected campaign. I cannot in good conscience back any more projects from Ethan since he clearly can't clear his plate before taking on more projects. I'd like a refund, please. Hey, EVS, gonna need to ask for a refund.
I have Wrecked Planet up. Just
go ahead and pull that one up.
I mean, why would you buy Wrecked Planet? Because Blood Honey was a really bad book.
Maybe Wrecked Planet clears it up, right, guys?
So let's see. Wrecked Planet is completely closed on May 15th, 2020. It still hasn't shipped. So let's see.
When's the projected shipping date?
Oh, where is that?
You can click on the see more thing, and it'll show you the perks. Never mind. Just go to the comments.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I like how this went from, quote, nearly finished after 2 years for you trying to bloat your numbers with the second chance campaign while the first one still hasn't been delivered. You are pathetic. That was 2 hours ago. 2 days ago. I just realized I've received at least 4 Coffin Comics campaigns I backed while waiting for this one. And before any comments about how good work requires time, maybe check out Diego Bernard's work on Lady Death because it's as good, if not better, than what we're getting here. Huh. Go check out Diego, guy. Let's see, 3 days ago. I wish Ethan luck in the future, but he won't be getting any more dollar bills out of me. John Malin has no problem getting his stuff out in a timely manner. He will continue to receive my support. Ethan says he is, quote, customer first. This is how...
and Old Wolf Milk, arguably a bigger piece of shit than Ethan.
You know why John doesn't have a problem getting his work out on time? Because all John does is the covers.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Arguably, hold on. When he puts his name to a campaign, he fucking fulfills it. Ethan, arguably a bigger piece of shit than Ethan, but he does what he says he's going to fucking do, and he doesn't open up second chance campaigns on something that still hasn't been fucking delivered.
So I want to make a comparison real quick because I think this is very pertinent.
Oh, wait, okay. real quick. So this is 19 days ago. An update from 8 months ago said the PVC toy sets of Salamandroid and Cyberfrog were shipping out to Honeycomb backers. I've never received anything from my Honeycomb pledge. What's the word on these items? This campaign is a disaster.
Right. So I want to make a comparison because I think this is very, very pertinent. All right. I am a Darkest Dungeon fanatic. And Darkest Dungeon is a video game. If you guys haven't played, it has a sequel. The video game is great. Mythic
is
Games
it as good as what Squirrel with a Gun is going to be?
Possibly.
Nothing is that good. We'll look at that trailer next.
Mythic Games Inc.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Is a board game manufacturer who has made multiple board games, who's making a Darkest Dungeon board game. And just after my father passed, when we had a lot of money to throw around from the house sale, and I was never going to have that kind of money again, I bought the Ancestral Pack, which is the maximum spend. So I'm getting all of the Darkest Dungeon expansions, all of the game, all the goodies, so many minis for me to paint. Oh, God. Right?
Right.
The game is going to be late. And they had to do the most awful thing you can do in a campaign. They had to ask for additional monies from the backers to meet shipping.
Were they open and honest about it and straightforward and completely transparent?
Yes.
That's all anybody ever fucking wanted from Ethan Van Sciver.
But here's the thing. Everyone's assuming that they were liars. Everyone's assuming that they're gouging for more. Everyone's assuming that the game's going to be even more late than it is because it's supposed to arrive sometime in October if you provided the cash for the increased backing. Right? Everyone in the actual campaign comics is just gouging into this company, a French company having trouble with international shipping at this time in this environment, right? And of course, the factory making the minis is in China because of course it is. So you can assume this is Chinese fuckery, right?
It's the only thing plates anything's made at anymore,
right? But my point is that people are looking at a company with a track record of, success, and are treating it like it's a monster. And I'm very quietly waiting because I know I'll get my shit eventually. Right? Because this is a company with a track record of they provide, they get it done. It might take a while, but they'll do it, right? And I've been waiting on this game for 2 years in its production cycle, right? EVS can't make a comic book happen, has 15
he's claimed success on 15 campaigns because he sold Bloodhoney enough times.
But he hasn't successfully provided to his people and just abandoned an entire campaign.
I'd like to ask credit.
But he gets good cred from people for some reason.
Well, hold on. Let me put this to Cross Comics, and I'll give him the 20-second YouTube delay to answer. But you say if you could get this money on one of my books, Cross Comics would be set and would have the next 10 books done. Do you mean that you would spend the money earned on the campaign to produce the next 5 to 10 campaigns and then put them up maybe to recoup shipping cost? Or would you just, make Cross Comics the online store where you would create the books with your money and then recoup the money on sales? Like, everyone assumed was the goddamn business model in the first place. Not raising $7 million on crowdfunding.
You mean what Iconic Comics has done?
You mean like what Rippa Studios has done?
You mean like what that comic book with the redheaded zombie chick?
Like what Alterna does?
Like what?
I mean, Alterna's
like what Parody Press did back in the 90s.
Yeah, but Alterna's a slightly different model, but yes.
Well, Publishing Pete has those fucking books. He's crowdfunding for extra shit and, to up his sales and get more eyes on it. But I'm pretty sure Peter Samedi knows how to get a book out without having people have to pay for the goddamn book. Anyway, I don't know. I was always
Speaking
under
of,
the impression
I haven't done an Alterna haul in a while.
Yeah, me either. We need to do that again.
Yeah, we do.
But I usually do them around Halloween when he has those big trick or treat sales, so you can get back issues for pennies on the dollar. Because I'm poor and I enjoy doing things like that. Plus, it's really awesome to give comic books away at Halloween. My wife took my kids to the mall trick or treating once, and then just like dumped all the comics that that we got into to kids' trick or treat buckets, and most of them seemed really cool with it.
Oh, you must have been the favorite.
I mean, it wasn't candy and it wasn't Snicker bars, but I mean, you drop a comic book in a kid's thing, and they have something they keep forever, as opposed to something they're going to eat and get sick on.
It is a known metric that on one end of the spectrum, you have that family that gives an apple and a Christian pamphlet, or a Mormon pamphlet, just a pamphlet, your pamphlet house, right? And on the other end of the spectrum is that person that's like king size Butterfinger, right?
I do both.
I mean, you want them to feel good about the Lord.
Yeah.
I would argue comic house, the house that you go and they give you a comic, it's like, oh man, can I scam with some friends to get multiple comics if we keep circling around?
I would definitely pay to have them all drawn up and colored and I would probably do an online store for my website because that would show Cross Comics has the following to do that. And here's the biggest problem that I have with it. When you've raised $7 million from crowdfunding and you can't take the time to update your backers, and you go around online making statements like, well, you're not actually buying a product.
I mean, that's true. It's already been $500 million and we still don't have Star Citizen.
Look, you just got to buy more ships, bigot. You just got to buy more ships.
It's $500 million for Star Citizen.
My thing is that's wonderful, Mr. Church. My thing is that I don't have the fiduciary resources to get art made anymore. That plan flew. Okay, I don't have the connections to get it done.
Nobody's expecting you to, but you also haven't made $7 million on crowdfunding.
Well, I'm getting to that. The thing is that I don't have the connections to get something made gratis, so I can walk between the raindrops and just say, yes, I have made a book. I'm a writer in a field that is increasingly diminished, that is increasingly stagnant, with a talent set that people don't think is valuable because they can't differentiate between typist, penmanship, and author. Right? If I had a successful campaign, if I suddenly made a campaign and they gave me a bunch of money, I freely admit some of that money is going in my fucking pocket, but it's going in my pocket to pay off my grievous debts, to keep my roof over my head, to keep my lights on, so I can keep working, so I can keep making books.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's part of why, me and Church are so supportive of Eric July. Is he made the Rippaverse? I think he said he took like 200,000, like his entire life savings,
right,
to start an actual company versus the bullshit EVS did.
Nobody's being mad that somebody's eating off their plate. Okay, nobody gives a shit if you're putting food on your plate and eating it.
Right.
The problem becomes when you don't fulfill something. Well, that's not the issue, Miss Rena. The issue, and I guarantee that Miss Rena has made that very clear and transparent to her backers, because she had it in her initial campaign. If we meet certain stretch goals, delivery is going to be delayed to produce these items.
Upfront is the best. The thing is, where my choler comes from, where I'm get the angry about the EVS and what, in my opinion, he represents, okay, is I'm here. You guys talk to me every day. Every time we have a guest who's in the job, I'm like, hey, can I get a job? Hey, can I get a shot? All right. I literally run into people who will follow me, like, oh, I'm a comics guy, I'm following you. It's like, hi, are you picking up submissions? Can I work with you? Can I work for you? Can I help you in some other way? I am incredibly interested in making that break, right? And I am offended that more people aren't putting the hand out. Not at me specifically. Okay? If Dillard was here, Dillard, we miss you. Recover, please. I'm 100% certain that he would make the argument quite right that no one's going to give you a handout, Joe. It's not, it's not like that. Because he's right. It's not. Right? But if you have the ability to make things better for someone else and it's not going to put you out of pocket, fucking do it. Okay? Dario is good people. Peter is good people. Don Chin is good people, because and Cyclopean are good people, and they haven't done anything for me. Then be friendly. Then be interested, right? Then listen to me ramble and go, oh yeah, that sounds pretty good. I've had a couple of conversations with some people about the high flying Hombre Lobo, and they've said, oh wow, can we have that comic now? And it's like, well, maybe one day, sure, but it doesn't take much to be good to the community. And I really do not like that behavior of, well, this community needs me more than I need it. It's like, fuck you, man. Really, fuck you. Church has gone silent.
He has. He had to step away for a second. Final thoughts on the EVS thing?
Defund.
We spent too much time talking about EVS, and we can talk about what's going on with the Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, you mean no. Before that,
defund.
No, before that, I have marching orders that once Rune was done, we are watching the Squirrel with a Gun trailer.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Is the lag the actual video, or is it just the feed from you to the stream?
Probably the feed.
Well, because if it's actually the game, that's also hilarious. This is on par with Goat Simulator.
Oh no, this is better than Goat Simulator. You get to rob people as a squirrel with a gun.
And shoot them, apparently.
Yes. Because you're a squirrel with a gun.
I don't know how they got inside my head, But this is exactly what goes on inside my brain every day.
So I know an obnoxious amount about this game so far. So once this trailer is over,
So John Wick Squirrel Simulator.
basically, but
It's so beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
So I want a computer that can run video games just so I can play this game. Now this is being created on the Real Engine 5 by some mad fucking bastard who has
wait. We got a breaking announcement. Miss Rena just lost 90% of her Twitter following out of nowhere.
What?
I hope it's not because she's on this show with us. That would piss me off.
I mean, it might be. Hold on, I'm gonna get that out. Let's see.
Because you were actually kind of getting up there.
Yeah, I was following her, but she somehow stopped following me. Now I'm following her again, which is as it should be. I'm thinking it's a...
Yeah, she's down to 71.
That's weird. Is that a Twitter bubble? Yeah,
no, that says who she's following, not her followers.
Here's the thing. According to my screen, she has 2,000.
No, she's still got 2,628 followers. Maybe the people she was following got fucked up.
Oh no, because she just refollowed. She just refollowed me. That's weird.
Yeah,
YouTube does that sometimes, especially if you're
Twitter.
No, we're talking about Twitter.
You know, Twitter. I meant Twitter when I said YouTube. It does that sometimes if you're constantly retweeting stuff to sell merch.
Oh yeah. Twitter will fuck you for self-promoting because they'll think you're a spam account, and if you don't have a lot of interaction with a lot of those people that you're following, they'll drop you.
Weird.
So can I drop something hilarious and random?
Well, hold on. Let me finish talking about this game. So it's made on the Real Engine 5, which is the same thing Fortnite and everything's made on.
Yeah.
And so he built into the physics the proper velocity and recoil to weight ratio of the squirrel, so you can use the recoil of the gun firing to be able to maneuver and jump across platforms like you guys saw with the lava and stuff like that. It's fucking amazing. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's like Portal, but it's a squirrel
with a
gun. Multiple guns.
So, on a previous subject, very briefly, on the subject of EVS.
How dare you? I'm talking about squirrels.
No, this is great. This is almost squirrely.
Okay.
We were checking on Magic Gal Media, and I happen to now be on her thing, and there's an ad for CVS Pharmacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I misread it. I read EVS Pharmacy.
Wait, you still get ads on Twitter?
Of course I still get ads on Twitter. But my brain's like,
I just block all the promoted tweets.
I just say not interested in this tweet on everything.
I'm just saying my brain went EVS Pharmacy. You autofill for your prescriptions and they never arrive. There you go.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get all right, so follow Miss Rena at Magic Gal Media if you're not already, and make sure that she's still following you if she was previously. But yeah. No, sometimes that happens, and I do know that a lot of bot accounts. But I mean, I wouldn't think you would be following a lot of bot accounts. I try to keep a nice 2-to-1 ratio to followers to following. But if you're a cool account, I'll break that ratio.
I mean, let the bodies hit the floor.
Because I know. Well, I know probably 50 to 60% of my following are dead accounts or bots. So I just expect them to fall off one day without any kind of anything. Because a lot of my there's one mutual that I definitely hold dearly, and that is Dark V from the old Killstream days. Speaking of the old Killstream days,
wait, didn't he die?
He did. That's why he's a very held dear mutual of mine. Because I have DMs with him.
Gotcha.
And it'll break my heart if they ever kill that account because it's been inactive. But speaking of the old Killstream days, our favorite Gunty King, Ethan Ralph, the other Ethan that this show's title preludes to, he has gone into business with known transgender male to female Keffels, who has gone into hiding.
It is male to female because I couldn't tell.
Yes, okay. A male to female transgender person by the name of Keffels, who has called for and supported the swatting of anyone critical of their fucking batshit insane takes on giving children hormones.
Well, I mean, it's part of Ethan Ralph's war on the Kiwi farms.
I mean, is this part of a political super PAC made of the people that tried to protect Jeffrey Epstein and Ezra Miller? I'm just just curious.
Well, it's a man who groomed a 17-year-old and got her pregnant when she turned 18. Who is now engaged to a known lolicon proficionado, going into business with a transgender looking to give hormones to kids.
That's fucked up.
It's not a good look. let's just say.
And here's the thing: on any other day of the week, on any other day of the week, on any other circumstance, you know that Ethan Ralph would be Christ's Kang all over this and talking about what a shit person Keffels is.
Look, you know it's bad when you're being shunned by the rest of the pigsty.
Well, I mean, he had to jump somewhere because his boy Nick Fuentes he had somebody try to commit terrorist acts against Charlie Kirk. Who then later also happened to be caught with child porn.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to be; they just were.
Look, I'm just saying.
Nobody has to be caught with that bullshit. I just want to put that out there. It is not required. Just don't have it on your phones, people. Just don't be a terrible human being.
Look, I'm just saying, if you put an empty bucket and a bucket full of corn in front of a picture of Ethan Ralph in front of a pig, that's going to be a hungry pig.
Well, yeah, because we need plenty of corn for the corn harvest.
I mean, look.
I'm just saying
As Alex Jones has told it, somehow transgender porn just happens to end up on your phone accidentally. So maybe there's something like that for child porn, where child porn somehow accidentally gets on your phone.
Okay, in Alex Jones's defense, me and a friend of mine had a hold on. Let me finish. Me and a friend of mine had a game going where we would send each other the most fucked up porn we could possibly find to try and one up each other. So if 7 years ago, if you looked at my phone history, you would see like a guy having bees poured down his dick hole through a funnel.
Wow.
So I'm pretty sure that noise was involved in that video, Larry.
Or a girl having her vagina sutured shut.
Look, I'm just saying, Larry.
Why am I friends with you?
I'm just saying, Larry. You play World of Darkness with me. Okay, I am a fucking saint. I am so restrained in the realm of awful things I could do.
But that's pretty bad.
Ayrton McCartney, unfollow, block.
But no. Alex Jones said that people hacked his phone and put transgender porn on.
I mean, they probably did. I believe him.
I mean,
that's Church unfollowing Ayrton.
It was
on
the gay
Twitter,
frogs.
And that's Church unfollowing Ayrton on Twitter, but refollowing him on FetLife. Got it.
Yeah.
You see, now I feel like we're not going to be able to get into our anger about
the fact that we all know what that is.
Look, I don't use those
fact
sort
that
of
we
apps.
all know what that is. I'm disappointed in all of us.
Look, I don't use any of those kind of apps because they actually don't work.
Where do you think I found my girlfriend?
Church, large women need whipped too.
Look, here's where I think you find your girlfriend. You're a musician.
Assuming at an Arby's,
You're at
Ayrton.
I mean, Ayrton, I imagine in my head you were at a bar playing at a gig, and you said, "Hey, you want to come back to my place and listen to some of my vinyl?"
Hey, Ayrton lives west of the Mississippi or east of the Mississippi. It's a Waffle House, sir.
See, but I'm north of the Mason-Dixon line, so it was an IHOP.
Ayrton's the only guy that can. Ayrton's the only guy that can literally pick up a chick and that ask me about my 7 inches shirt with the vinyl the topper on it.
I do have a pretty rockin' vinyl collection.
Look, the sad fact of there is the reason we're not getting into D and Defund.
Oh no, we are going to get into that.
It's because it's not actually that interesting. There's not enough.
No.
No. We're using that as an entry point to making D&D racist again.
Yeah, I know that's your goal, but I want to get back to I want to refer back to Ethan Ralph and go. It's not a good look for the gaming community.
I'm just gonna
be like, let's be racist.
I'm just gonna go ahead.
Be anti-racist.
Well, no, anti-racism is the new
I'm
form
just going
of
to go
racism.
ahead and disavow everything and let you guys go.
Thank you for disavowing. I'm not on board either.
What do you mean? You're not on board with races actually having meaningful characteristics and those meaningful characteristics contributing to the story of a fantasy setting?
Okay. Let's be extremely fucking crystal about this.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Mm-hmm. Racism as a concept has a place in fiction, incling role-playing games.
Mm-hmm. That's not what these people are arguing, Rune.
I don't care what those people are arguing. I'm saying what I'm arguing.
Right.
This is my opinion.
And I'm also arguing that.
All right? I'm just saying that in the practice of doing things the correct way, we need to take a care to make sure we are not painted as though we are doing these things for the wrong reason that other people want to say we are.
Why are you poisoning the well again?
Well, I'm not poisoning the well.
Yes, you are. You're putting the idea.
I have an opinion.
The idea in discourse.
Concern. This is an
it's not.
No,
no, it's not because these people will assume it of us anyway.
No.
So it's not serious.
I invited them to come on tonight. They did not come on tonight. If you want to come over onto Gilded and you want to debate with the basic expert and with DM Blackwall and with Victor Gorchev and other members of the OSR who say incredibly fucking racist shit while trying to talk about how people who are playing D&D 5e are stupid backward knuckle draggers, more power to you. But they absolutely
we're not talking about that.
Let me get
you
in
are
here real quick.
Because they
we're not.
transcend the good taste level of let's say something that's a little spicy.
You did this,
to
actually
crossing the line. They do it.
Mm-hmm.
They do it unintentionally.
They do
it without thinking about it. I'm not spiking the well. It's not.
Yes, you are.
Lie.
Yes, you are. You're poisoning the well because you're implying a malfeasance in my motive.
As last night, you are fucking setting things up and then spinning it with arbitrary academia language that is not true to serve your fucking point. You disingenuous fuck.
I'm not disingenuous. You are because you poisoned the well of the argument.
No, I'm not poisoning a fucking well. I was there. I talked to these people. I see.
But we're not talking about those people. We are not talking about those people We're not talking about those people, and you're lumping me in with those people.
Aren't you?
I'm not.
Aren't you though?
I am not.
Hold on. Everybody shut up. Everybody shut up. I have an erection. All right. We're going to take this.
Not talking about those people.
We're going to be civil about this.
Yeah. I'm being civil.
We're going to be civil about this, Larry.
Trying.
I will mute the
You are
fuck
not
out of
trying,
you.
Rune. You're not trying to be civil.
I am trying to be civil.
Everybody.
You were not. You started not civil.
You opened. You want this. This is what
No, I don't.
Want. You're getting it.
Don't.
Aren't you fucking happy?
This is not what I wanted. This is what you wanted. You wanted to be angry.
No, Rune, this is what I wanted. This is it. This isn't what Larry wanted. This is what I wanted.
This is what Eric wanted. This is absolutely what Eric wanted.
What I make is a clear fucking point.
All right.
A solid
real quick,
point.
So everyone can understand.
A point about something that's not being discussed.
No,
you brought in another point to lump in my argument with awful people.
You said the fucking argument is D&D should be racist, and when you say it,
that was a joke. That was a joke.
It's a fucking joke because the
yes, you do.
No, the extremists will not see it as a joke. They will weaponize it to use against you. That's
Here's
what they
the thing.
fucking do.
They're already going to do it. They're already going to do it.
And you don't need to feed the fucking beast.
They're going to do it anyway. So it's not feeding the beast.
Just because you have fucking bear traps there does not mean you need to put your fucking foot in it like an idiot.
It's meaningless because these people are meaningless.
I might put my foot in.
Gentlemen.
I might put my foot in. It's not funny.
All right, gentlemen. Let's take a step back.
Nor does your poisoning the well at the start of the argument.
Rune.
It's not poisoning the well.
Yes, it is.
The problem is there.
It absolutely is.
Motherfuckers. We're going to take a step back.
Church will turn the stream around.
Rune, go first. Then Larry. I will pull the stream over and whoop everybody's ass. But let's take 2 minutes and explain our positions. So, Rune, do you want to go first, or do you want to hear Larry's position and actually let him define it?
We don't actually disagree. We don't actually disagree. Rune just wants to lump me in with horrible people.
I'm trying to get everybody to put their actual position out.
Yes, you are. That is literally how you started your argument.
No.
It's literally how you started your argument.
No.
Rune. Children. Give the man 2 minutes to explain his actual position, and then we'll go from there. You'll have your 2 minutes, and we'll just do this. We'll do this like adults. Okay.
Right, but the thing is, we already did that.
You have 2 minutes starting now.
Hold up. We already did that.
No.
Joe and I agreed.
Just explain your position for the audience as well.
Oh, Mrs. Church, you're the best.
So, my position is that if you believe racism is a serious issue, then you need racism to exist within the fiction of the game. A point Joe doesn't disagree with. Joe only disagrees with the fact that I made a joke to mock the people who are taking the position disingenuously about racism, to remove racism from the setting because they believe racism is so serious of an issue, you can't actually face racism, talk about it, or wrestle it as a piece of fiction. That's it. Joe and I don't disagree on the substance of the argument. He just doesn't like the fact I made a joke to open the argument.
Okay. I mean, and that's fair because it does make it seem as though you're opening the argument in a disingenuous manner to be fair for someone who's actually looking to have a discussion about this. If you open with a joke, you're not taking it seriously, quote unquote. I'm not saying that's your position.
Ricky Gervais does that.
That's how it could be.
Chappelle does that.
That's how it could be depicted.
Carlin did that.
You're not a stand-up comedian either. You're not a stand-up comedian, Larry. Just because you're a little bit funny.
This is kind of a comedy show. This is kind of a comedy show, Church. Let's be fair.
All right. Well, in fairness as well, Rune, what is your position on the subject?
So, I love blue comedy. I love dirty jokes. I love bad puns. I have terrible fucking taste. I admit it. And I freely admit that, yes, I love around elves watch yourselves. I love don't trust knife ears. Okay? I love these jokes. They're great. I also absolutely believe that racism as a storytelling convenience has a place in your media. It worked in The Witcher. If we love it in The Witcher, why can't we have it in D&D? Those are reasonable fucking arguments. All right? I don't care if the extremists are going to already decide what they believe. I'm just saying we don't have to feed them. We don't have to give them what they want. And sometimes,
Larry,
sometimes,
I'll mute you.
Whether we're making a joke or not, whether we know it's a joke or not, right? It has the unfortunate appearance that it is not. And people will take that out of context to make it not. And what I'm trying to get at, and keep getting told that that's non-existent, doesn't happen, and that I'm poisoning the well, is that over time, by observation, I have seen otherwise perfectly well-meaning people get so comfortable with the joke, they can no longer differentiate between making the joke and not making it. And I'm not saying that Larry is one of those people, but I am saying...
You are just using a logical fallacy that says that.
No.
30
yes,
seconds.
you are.
I am saying
Larry,
that I can name names and I can indicate specific people who I invited here to be here if they wanted to comment, who I have seen make these statements and these mistakes, to the extent that they're actively talking about them, and it's an active concern. Not a "are we the baddies" moment, but a "are we going too far with our positionality?" Because it undermines your goal when you give them fodder. That's it.
All right. So before we get into Larry's next segment, I do want to point out that a lot of these people raising an issue with racism in Dungeons and Dragons' favorite media series is Harry Potter. And let's not forget the Goblin Bankers, ladies and gentlemen.
Or the whole racial dynamic with the Muggles.
Starting now?
Well, no, I mean, we don't disagree. I'm just upset of the way that Joe responded to me in this argument. I feel it was disrespectful.
Okay,
and I tried to air this out with him before the show, and he blew me off.
I didn't blow you off.
Yes, you did.
No. You asked, are we okay? I said, we're not okay.
And then you didn't follow up on that.
It didn't need qualification.
Well, it clearly did because of what you just did earlier.
You say my behavior...
I feel like that's saying we're agreeing to disagree.
You say my behavior was disrespectful.
I'm fine with agreeing to disagree with Joe on points of discussion. I'm not okay with agreeing to disagree in situations like this.
You say my behavior was disrespectful, and yet, no matter how polite or well-placed, you persist in a process of basically humoring position. It's like, oh, well, you believe that, but it's just wrong. And then rather than give qualifying information or ask for clarification, you proceed to attempt to dissect my arguments about why they're wrong, basically with nothing, repeatedly.
Rune, just for the point of fairness, do me one favor. Okay. Can you give me an example of where Larry has said one of your opinions is just wrong and invalidated it, and then give Larry an opportunity to respond to that?
When I started this conversation tonight, because let's use this one, it's the most recent, the most direct, right? And tried to make an assertion that we should have a care, even if we're making jokes. Jokes are great. That we are not, in fact, supporting that we should actually have racism in D&D. The counterpoint was, well, why are you poisoning the well? Which had been said
because
more
that
than
is
once
logical
fallacy.
I'm not.
Subjects.
No, hold on. I don't need a counterpoint. I don't need a counterpoint. I'm right with you. Hold on.
It is not presented
as the point that he made.
It is not presented as as an argument. It's like, I agree. I understand where you're coming from, but let's also have a care not to poison the well. It is instead presented as an accusation, as though I am actively going out of my way to do something insidious.
Because you opened your argument with that. opening your argument with that is insidious when you're doing an internet debate.
And we just had an extended discussion about kickstarting and Indiegogo and the like, where everyone agreed up front is the ideal method of presenting argumentation, and upfront is the appropriate way to approach content.
But when you open up,
we had an argument that upfront fallacy
that poisons how the entire structure of the argument is viewed by the audience, which is your entire logic, by the way, for why you're saying we shouldn't do X, Y, or Z, because it implies we're like the bad people in the bad boy club.
I fundamentally disagree.
That's fine.
Well, hold on.
And I don't have a problem with you disagreeing with
gap here. Let me try.
I do have a problem with you disagreeing in how you talk directly to me as a person.
Let me try and bridge the gap here. Larry, I think what Rune's saying is that he feels you're not giving any credence to the argument that even in a joking manner, supporting racism isn't the look. However, Rune, I feel like Larry's taking it as you took the joke a little too personally, and you have feelings that are not about Larry himself that you kind of dished out to him. Am I at least somewhat on point?
You're in the neighborhood of the bar.
Okay, so I'm playing the right sport at least. You guys respect one another, and I know you respect one another's opinions, even though you differ in them vastly and wildly, and that's what makes the show entertaining. Now, here's the thing about racism in Dungeons and Dragons and why I think that it's kind of a moot point to continue discussing, because we're always going to have 2.0. We're always going to have 1.5. And we're always going to have regular just AD&D. Now, what the problem is becoming is that 6th edition is basically going to be a watered down version of anything where if you kill a kobold, you're arrested for a hate crime by the city corporals. We all know that. We all understand that. Even though the exact same people, like I just said, who are pushing this narrative are the same people who have no problems with the crook-nosed goblins and Gringotts and the half-blood mudbloods, as they call them in Harry Potter. Even though it wasn't overt racism, there was still a caste disparity, and there will be in everything because that is a fictional, relatable trope that should and does deserve preservation. Both of you guys can agree with that, correct? I mean, caste disparity is a storytelling device, right?
Certainly, and more succinctly, because it is worth mentioning, those same people that we're just saying we're not going to be compared to are already saying, just don't buy it. The OSR crowd is already said, why are you buying it? The OSE exists, other game systems exist, first through or BX through third exists. Play the game you want. You're not required to play 6E.
And advanced dungeon masters, I feel like, are already at a leg up because they don't need a book at all. They can create a campaign based on just world knowledge, and you need a monster manual at best.
Yeah.
So you don't need a D&D or a dungeon master's guide really anymore. I mean, it's just created as another selling point to the set.
I mean, this will be the first edition you can play a manlet. You
can always play a
yeah, but you can actually play a 2-foot tall human. Humans apparently are
Jesus Christ.
2 and 7 feet tall. I didn't know there were. I knew there were people with giant. I didn't know 7 feet was a thing.
Rude.
I didn't know you could play as Ethan Ralph.
Right now. You're totally being ableist right now.
Yes.
Assuming people's height.
Since when can you be?
Because I identify as 3 inches tall.
I'm sorry, what was that, Ayrton?
2 foot tall, 8 foot wide.
I said, since when can you play as Ethan Ralph as a D&D character?
It's called the Kender,
but because he's 5'1" is the
no, because Kender at least are neutral, and Ethan is clearly evil.
No.
Now, while I won't go as far as say that Joe's argument was poisoning the well, I will go so far as to defend Larry's joke in the sense that we've been listening to this D&D bullshit off and on, not from you guys, but off and on Twitter, on the fucking comic book resources, on Cosmic Book News, on D&D forums for over 6 months now about how racist and unacceptable it is that ogres are treated differently than people in Dungeons and Dragons. And, all you can do about it at this point is either joke or get pissed off. And we kind of had an example of both of those things happening here on this show. Because we have one dungeon master who is a member of the disabled community, and he's been hearing about how, because you don't have representation in a fucking wheelchair, the game's not inclusive, even though I think he can verify that motherfuckers that are disabled play D&D so that they can be the big strong barbarian or the big strong knight that has working fucking legs, right?
Oh, not only that, but
I also
these same people tell me that I don't exist, my mother doesn't exist. Disabled people who don't agree with them don't exist.
So, I can also agree with. Well, I can also agree with Larry's perspective and the perspective of like 150 other Twitter users who purported that your terms are acceptable when at this point we need to make a campaign to keep D&D racist. That was kind of a meme on Twitter. I think you've probably both seen it.
And
but
I mean, I want to play as a character with a small penis just to see what it feels like.
So you're gonna play a bard?
No. Because remember, Ayrton has the world's largest micro penis. Having a small penis would be an upgrade.
Oh, that's a good point.
Can we make it a feat? If this is D&D 5e, can we make micro penis a feat?
Oh no! In 6th edition, everybody gets a feat as part of their background.
Right. So, well, that's the thing though. It's a fixed feat. We'd have to make a background for it.
But how much do we have to pay for these feet?
I mean, if it's still a fairly small penis, not that much. Like $7.
I mean,
I was making a foot pics right there.
I mean,
apparently
that's 1 silver and 2 copper.
Oh, yeah, it did.
So
I mean, it went over because the penis is so small.
I believe Miss Church gave us the perfect 2 ending discussion points
about Black Adam.
Is anybody excited for Black Adam?
I'm not excited, but you know what? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a charismatic man. I do generally enjoy
He's
watching.
He's fucking entertaining as shit.
Yeah. I think Pierce Brosnan,
you know what?
Dr. Fate
I for one welcome the return of the Mummy character in the Black Adam costume.
Well, here's the thing. I'm interested for The Rock Johnson, absolutely. But in regards to Mrs. Churchill's other point, I actually think Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate is sad, and not because
we'll get to that.
He's not going to be great, but because we're going to get to see him for like 5 minutes. It's gonna be damn near nothing.
Well, I mean, that's why they have an ensemble cast.
I am not excited for anything DC is putting out. I'm not excited for anything that DC is putting out because they've made it an effort to distance themselves from Amber Heard, shelf 2 movies that were already in post-production, and then they're just like, no, Ezra Miller's a victim. He just needs therapy, guys.
It's the only thing they could do, or they can't afford
whatever I said. I've been drinking whiskey for 2 hours, Cross Comics. All bets are off.
They can't afford to burn $200 million.
Yeah, they're not Disney.
They can. They're owned by Discovery. I mean, they just need to put another Hitler documentary up. They'll make that back.
Only if I can start it.
The Jew was the first one to laugh. It was a good joke.
I mean, they call it the Hitler Channel for a reason.
Hitler and aliens.
It's Hitler and UFOs. Hitler and aliens.
I mean, it's actually sad.
Pawn shops.
I used to watch Ancient Aliens for plot concepts for World of Darkness games, and I just can't anymore because it's too sad.
It's too out there for a fiction concept?
No, it's sad. It's sad that people actually
Do we have a
the kid.
picture of Do we have a picture of Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate? Has anything come out of that yet?
I have it up on the
There's
screen.
actually a trailer.
I have it up on the screen right now.
I will get a picture of Pierce Brosnan as well. I may have a different one.
No, get us the trailer and throw that in the private chat for Ayrton. We're gonna take a strike. We're gonna take it for a good reason. God damn it!
I mean, I could just not.
We didn't EFAP this interview.
I could just not turn the volume on.
Or I mean, you could play your music in the background.
That probably would work.
No, that's not a good one. Yeah, most of the trailers had like a bunch of other people in it. Here we go. Here's the Dr. Fate one. I found it.
All right.
This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah, same.
Like I had no idea this was happening because I'm completely checked out of DC unless they do something with Arm Fall Off Boy again, or with the Lex Luthor robot that was run by hate tapes. We all know I have a soft spot for that guy.
All right, hold on.
Give us a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting the the trailer booted up for you guys. So this will be an authentic reaction from me because I had no idea this was happening. Like I'm honestly disappointed they didn't fucking wheel out. No, I'm awestruck that they didn't wheel out Captain Picard for this role.
All right, you guys ready?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Instead, they got me.
I've seen the Scorpion King cross.
He's just drunk.
And I give you my word.
And note, this was listed as this was listed as the Dr. Fate trailer. To show you how big a deal it is.
So he's going to show up for half a second at the end?
Exactly.
All right.
That's how these movie trailers work. There's Hawkman. There's Dr. Fate.
There he was.
Yeah.
And getting his own thing. Oh, there he is. And that's Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
Yep. Man's gotten old.
Hello to all friends.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Look, okay, you guys just don't understand. This is just such a big disappointment for me.
No,
because
I'm excited now.
No, you don't understand. See, there's a greater character at play here that should get his own cinematic release, but never will, because the Amalgam universe will absolutely never be acknowledged, and that is the one, the only Doctor Strange Fate, who is Professor X and Stephen Strange and Doctor Fate all in one body.
It's true.
See, I'm just excited Hawkman's going to be in it, mostly because I know how much you hate Hawkman.
Well, look, we all know what the future is going to be.
I fucking hate Hawkman and his origin story.
The Disney, AOL, Warner, Sony company will own all comics. They'll amalgamate them all, and we will get a Doctor Strange Fall event film before the companies break up again.
Hey.
Before
you know what?
Planet comes out.
I was about to make that joke. I was about to make
Even
that
on
joke.
whiskey, still quicker than Larry.
Yeah, but you're 12 years younger than him. You have more speed. It's okay.
Damn kids.
No, I'm fatter than him too, though. So
that's true.
And also, you've probably taken more L's to the knees because of your children.
But Church, we got another Dr. Fate image there in the private. So you can grab it, Ayrton. Grabbing it.
Yeah, well,
I think it's the best one myself.
All right.
Oh, Church is out. He's out.
All right, we're still
Church
live.
is gone. Yeah, I know. It's weird.
What?
I gave you a doctor. There's another Dr. Fate image.
Yeah, I got it.
The doobly doo.
Yeah. Doodly doo. It is the best Dr. Fate.
It's classic.
Yes.
All right. Well, Church accidentally yeeted himself. What do we do?
Say goodnight, everybody.
I mean, I would say we give him 5 minutes to come back so he can give his church minute.
Yeah.
Whatever his minute is.
But if it's not 5 minutes, then you
then.
Oh wait, no, that's not the one I wanted.
No,
we got to go back to that.
we gotta go.
And then
there we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we
well,
go.
church is gone.
Hey,
now is the time to be racist.
Are you upset, Ayrton, that you can't get paid $50,000, be given free weed, and be told by your FBI handler to have sex with somebody to make a case for the government?
Well, considering I don't smoke weed, no.
Motherfucker immediately puts racism time up as soon as I leave.
I think we should get paid $50,000 for this. I want $50,000 and weed and just sleep with women for screaming at Larry. I think that's a good trade.
No, see, if they gave me that money and gave me free
that was
whiskey,
the most intense I've ever seen you, Rune. I was worried he was going to have an aneurysm, guys. I was concerned for his health.
Church, wasn't that the most intense you had seen me on this show?
This is seriously why I actually wanted to do the.
I mean, yes, but you have no emotions, you fucking robot.
Hey, that's not true. I have all sorts of emotions. I just keep them at a mellow level.
This is why I wanted the EVS thing last. Because
okay, Doc Sampson.
I knew it was gonna agitate up the blood that would be short fused. But the thing is that the D&D thing is also just so stupid. I don't mean the subject. I mean, Watsy, if you're watching this because you enjoy watching people scream, one D&D is dumb. The initiative is dumb.
Let me tell you how fucked Watsy is right now.
Okay.
Do you know what the new edition of Magic the Gathering is going to be?
There's a link. There's actually a link in the show chat about that, Church. Pull that link up.
Yeah, we
please.
did.
Yeah. You know.
Hey, well, man, look. Why are you surprised?
Trying to end the show as quickly as possible.
They did Godzilla. They did D&D. They're going to do this. Why are you surprised?
Godzilla was just in the lands. Godzilla was in the lands, and then he was an alternate art. But he was an alternate art. He wasn't an actual card.
Actually,
I swear to God, if you guys don't pipe down so we can end the show, I'm putting the racism time back up.
I bought the digital version. I have the monster card. I
understand that. But what I'm saying is the initial print, Rune.
Oh, initial. Okay.
The initial printing was a different creature tame. Okay, it was an alternate art that became Godzilla, and then it had the subtext of the actual card name.
Okay.
And then Godzilla was present on a set of Secret Lair lands. See, I hated it when they did Walking Dead as individual cards.
Right.
Because you can't get those cards under any other name. You can't get Rafik of the Mini / Negan.
But real quick,
it's just Negan.
While you're digging this up, let me just throw this out there real quick. So the initiative that Watsy's done is called 1D&D, right? And the intent is to pasteurize D&D not only as an addition, but as a concept. Oh, if you're playing old D&D, you're just playing D&D. There's no OSR. There's no difference. It's all the same, guys. The thing is that I've seen this initiative before. I know where they got it. And they got it from Paradox. Because that's the...
Good night, Cross. Thanks for coming out, buddy.
That's the title of their initiative, One World of Darkness. Where they said, well, look, V5 is the real world of darkness. All that stuff is legacy. But really, if you're playing legacy, it's okay because it's all the world of darkness. It's a effort to to turn your game into a monolith with no history, right? Where you were expected to follow the authoritarian center of the Corpo and play the Corpo edition. It's D&D Corpo edition. That's fucking awful. And then if you want to dig into the particulars, I mean, I got the thing up. We can talk about that next week or whatever.
I mean, I don't really want to dig into.
We can talk about that next week.
Good night, everybody.
We can talk about Magic the Gathering next week. We'll. Good night, everybody. Ayrton, we're waiting on you, buddy.
I already put it on the ticker.
Oh, okay.
I put it on the ticker.